Giannis is one win away from an NBA title, and he will be the Finals MVP, it would seem.
Yes.
Chris Middleton will get some votes. Devin Booker's been good, but it would be Giannis's final. And he's a very engaging kid. He's a great story. Humble, grateful, and he's worked really hard. I mean, he's gotten better every single year. And so we were going to ask the question, next 5 years, starting next year, first game, would I take Giannis or this star next 5 years, half a decade? Here we go.
Giannis or Kevin Durant?
Again, 5 years, I would take Giannis for two reasons. Number one, KD is not the defender he used to be. The Nets were 22nd in defensive rating. Also, Giannis is signed through the 25-26 season. So I have some certainty for the next 5 years where he's going to be. Also, we have to be honest about this. There is a little bit of an injury concern with KD. His game, the way he slashes, he's had major injuries, and Giannis has not. So I would take Giannis.
Giannis or James Harden?
This one's easy for me because I think what you're seeing in the playoffs is what separates the two. I would take Giannis. So in the past 6 years, James Harden's playoff numbers are under his regular season numbers. And we've talked about this. The greatness of Derek Jeter it wasn't that he became a better player in the postseason. Derek Jeter was the same player, regular season Yankees postseason, whereas A-Rod was a great player in the regular season, but was less of a player in the postseason. There are games and personalities, and Harden's ball-centric style wears down, whereas Giannis' style wears others down. And so I do think, Joy, NBA officials tend to swallow the whistle in the playoffs. That plays to Giannis' advantage because he's so big, so strong, and so physical.
Giannis or Luka?
This is a tough one. I think I'd go Luka here. So Luka is younger, and Luka is a better, more refined player at his age than Giannis. Also, Giannis needs to be coupled with shooters. Luka is the shooter, and there's not many people in the world, certainly not at 22 years old, that shoot the ball like Luka. So whereas Giannis needs to find something very rare, shooters, to succeed, Luka just needs to find size, a big, and there's plenty of big guys around basketball, so I would take Luka.
Would you take Giannis or Steph?
Really not easy. One is 33, one is 26. One has had injuries, one hasn't. So I would take Giannis over the next 5 years. But, you know, the value of Steph is he is, like Giannis, so good, so selfless, and so good playing with others. This is a go either way. If it wasn't for Giannis is a bigger, stronger athlete, Steph, a smaller athlete, bit of a defensive liability, and he's had injuries. And as we're finding out in the playoffs, Joy, the injury thing is a thing. It has to be considered. It's a big component. Giannis has never had a major injury.
Giannis or Kawhi?
Again, Giannis. Kawhi's coming off a major injury, and I also feel like Giannis is going to give me 95% of the games. Whereas with Kawhi, he's sort of a non-verbal guy. Giannis is very verbal. Giannis is very much the cheerleader, very much all in. He's verbal leader. He's an emotional leader, a physical leader. I feel like with Kawhi, he needs that on his team. He needs a verbal leader. I still contend if I was the Clippers, I'd do whatever I could to get Dame. And then if I had to let go of Paul George, I think it is hard with Ben Simmons or Kawhi to be your go-to guy because they're kind of non-verbal. Some would say it's aloof. Call it whatever you want.
Giannis or Joel Embiid?
Embiid's the more gifted offensive player. Giannis has the better body. And I would take Giannis. Embiid has never gotten past the semis. I think if Embiid had never had injuries, this would be probably Embiid. I think Embiid is the closest thing we've seen to Shaq. I think he can shoot a jumper. He can hit an occasional three. I think he's a big personality. He has struggled with Ben Simmons, but I'm not sure that's Embiid's fault. He's very verbal. He's very expressive. Again, Embiid's the only big in the league where I would consider taking him over Giannis, but we've got, he had a torn meniscus this year in the playoffs.
Giannis or Anthony Davis?
Easy one. Giannis. First of all, Giannis loves basketball, totally committed, gets better every year, and plays every night. That's an easy one. It's nothing against AD, and I'm not saying he doesn't love basketball, but Giannis, you can just tell from, I say this about Lamar Jackson. I know Lamar Jackson likes football because I look at his body. And now he's got traps. He came into the league, he was like a twig, and now he's got traps. Look at Giannis's body from 4 years ago to today. You know how many hours in a weight room that guy has spent? AD, the Lakers privately have been struggled to get AD to the weight room. So the commitment level for Giannis is much greater.
Here's an interesting one. Giannis or Damian Lillard?
Giannis is an A player on both ends of the floor. Dame is A+ on the offensive end, but he's a smaller player, not a great defensive player. So generally, in a perfect world, Dame would be on a team where another guard can defend. Now, Dame's the better offensive player and a great clutch player, great at the line. But there is look, we're watching size win these NBA titles. Like, size matters, and Dame is the best small player in the league, and Giannis is the best big guy in the league.
Giannis or LeBron?
5 years, Giannis. Now remember, this is a big thing. Giannis led the league. This is a stat. In fouls drawn per game, he attacks the rim. LeBron ranked 30th. What does that mean? LeBron increasingly, as he ages, doesn't want all the contact and get slammed to the floor. LeBron's becoming a jump shooter. Now he's good at it. He's really developed a shot. But what that tells you is, as LeBron ages, he's going to play fewer minutes, fewer nights, and become a little bit more of a finesse player. He's going to be more perimeter. And by the way, to extend your career, if you want to play with Bronny, that's what you do. You don't hit the deck every 15 minutes like your former teammate D. Wade. But in terms of drawing fouls, getting to the line, being aggressive, Giannis runs the floor like LeBron did 8 years ago. He really does. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.